I remember the light turning red. We stopped, no traffic, just a calm group ride. And then, bam! One guy stands on his seat, trying to look cool for his GoPro. The bike wobbles. He loses control. Another rider slams the brakes and slides out. Chaos in 2 seconds. We weren't speeding. It wasn't raining. No cars involved. Just one guy trying to show off and nearly taking out half the group. That day, I realized something. Most crashes don't come from insane speeds or drunk drivers. They come from riders trying to look impressive copying trends they saw online, thinking they're invincible. Since then, I've started seeing it everywhere. Riders chasing style over safety, ego over logic. It's not just annoying, it's dangerous. Some of these trends look harmless, even fun. But when you're on two wheels, stupidity spreads fast. And the consequences hit hard. And here's the question that stuck with me. When does a dumb trend stop being a joke and start becoming a real threat? You might be surprised how often the answer is right now. Let's be honest, we all want to look good on our bikes. But there's a fine line between looking sharp and riding stupid. I've seen guys wearing leather jackets thinner than paper and jeans that wouldn't protect you from a mosquito bite. They think it's stylish. It's not. It's reckless. Wearing sneakers instead of riding boots or skinny jeans instead of real gear might win you likes on Instagram, but it won't save your skin. When you hit pavement at 40 miles per hour, I've seen riders regret those choices the hard way. You don't need to dress like a Power Ranger, but there's gear out there that looks great and actually works. Riding isn't a fashion show. It's real life. If you crash, your jacket won't care how cool it looked. It's either going to protect you or not. And guess what? Road rash is never in style. You know the type. He rolls up to a red light, looks around, and suddenly brop, like he's waiting for the drag race to start. Bro, you're not at the track. You're at a crosswalk next to a minivan and a grandma with groceries. Revving your bike like a maniac doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look insecure. No one's impressed. The drivers are annoyed. Pedestrians are cringing. And real riders? We're shaking our heads. There's a difference between letting your bike breathe and screaming at the world for attention. Trust me, if your bike is beautiful, people will notice it without the theatrics. You don't need to be loud to stand out. Silence, sometimes, speaks louder than noise. So next time you're tempted to blip that throttle at a red light, maybe just don't. Wearing fake motorcycle club patches is like walking around in a military uniform you didn't earn. It's not just cringe, it's disrespectful. Those patches mean something. Brotherhood, loyalty, risk. You don't get that from a $15 eBay vest. I've seen guys show up at bike nights rocking colors they have no right to wear, pretending they're part of a crew. It doesn't make you look tough. It makes you a target, and not in a cool way. If you're not in the club, that's totally fine. Ride solo, ride free. But don't cosplay as something you're not. Real riders will see through the act instantly. And believe me, that's not the kind of attention you want. Earn your place or ride your own path. But never fake it. Group rides are awesome until someone turns it into a circus. You've seen it. Riders weaving through the pack, racing each other, popping wheelies in the middle of traffic like it's a stunt show. One wrong move and half the group ends up on the pavement. Riding with others isn't a game. It takes coordination, awareness, and respect. When someone treats it like an audition for YouTube, things go south fast. Stay in your lane. Keep a safe distance. Watch your mirrors. That's what keeps a ride flowing smooth and safe. It's not about showing off, it's about showing up and riding smart with your crew. I've been on rides where one guy stood on his seat out of nowhere. The rest of us hit our brakes hard to avoid a pileup. Nobody clapped. Nobody was impressed. We were just lucky no one ended up in an ambulance. If you want to flex, do it somewhere that doesn't risk everyone else's skin. Nothing screams poser louder than a bike covered in stickers, pretending to be something it's not. A Brembo sticker on stock brakes? Olin's decals on stock forks? Come on, man. Who are you fooling? I get it. Customizing is part of the fun. But there's a difference between adding personality and turning your bike into a rolling billboard. If your fairings look like a teenager's laptop, you've gone too far. Real mods speak for themselves. You don't need fake badges to get respect. Want your ride to stand out, clean it, maintain it. Make it ride like a dream. That's what people actually notice. A few tasteful decals? Cool, but if people can't tell your bike's original color, you're doing too much. There's no bigger rookie move than starting your bike and instantly cranking the throttle like you're on a racetrack. The engine's cold, the oil's barely moving, and you're out here trying to wake the dead with vroom vroom sounds. It doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look clueless. Revs on a cold engine wear it out faster and could lead to real damage down the line. You're not warming it up, you're wearing it down. Good riders know. Let it idle. Let the oil circulate. Then ease into the day. If you're hammering the throttle in the first 10 seconds, you're not flexing. You're funding future repairs. Save your engine and your dignity. We all know the type. Full gear, perfectly lit photo, slow motion walk to the bike, helmet tilted just right. Caption, #RideLife. But ask them to join a real ride. Ghosted, vanished, never seen outside the grid. For some, the bike is just a prop, a background for likes, a fashion statement parked in the garage. And hey, there's nothing wrong with loving the look. But if you never ride, are you really a rider? Real riders don't need to post daily selfies. They've got miles, scars, rain-soaked jackets, and dirty boots. You don't impress the riding community with a filter. You impress by showing up. Take your bike out, put some buds on the visor, then post. That's the content we respect. Dude spends $1,000 on the loudest exhaust he can find. 2 weeks later, man, my neighbors hate me. I got a ticket. My head hurts. No kidding, Sherlock. Look, I love a bike that sounds mean. A good exhaust note, music to our ears. But when you straight pipe your ride into a rolling explosion that sets off car alarms, you've crossed the line from badass to public nuisance. And here's the twist half of them say, it makes me safer. People hear me coming, maybe, but they also hear you coming and want you gone. You don't need to deafen the entire zip code to feel alive. Pick a pipe with tone, not just volume. Your ears, neighbors, and bank account will thank you. Nothing cracks me up like watching someone on a 900-pound cruiser trying to take corners like they're in Modog. Floorboards scraping, knees flailing, handlebars shaking. Dude, this isn't Laguna Seca. Every bike has a purpose. Sport bikes are made to lean hard and fast. Cruisers? They're built to glide. If you bought a Road King, embrace the chill. Don't try to ride it like a ninja. When you push a machine beyond what it's meant to do, you don't look skilled, you look like a crash waiting to happen. It's not about how far you can lean. It's about knowing when not to ride your bike for what it is. There's no shame in smooth, easy miles. But pretending to be Valentino Rossi on a boulevard bruiser? That's just asking for a viral fail video. You ride a motorcycle, not a spaceship, so stop packing like you own the galaxy. Taking up 2 spots, blocking other bikes, or squeezing into spots no one can exit from. That's not clever. That's just selfish. Yeah, bikes are smaller than cars. That doesn't mean you get to play Tetris with everyone else's handlebars. Be smart. Park clean. Respect the space. Because nothing ruins a ride faster than returning to your bike and realizing some guy boxed you in like he was solving a puzzle on expert mode. We've all met that rider, the one who's been using the same gloves, jacket, and helmet liner since dinosaurs roamed the earth. You know it the second they take off their helmet. Boom. Wall of funk ... Look, I get it. Gear is expensive. But come on. Washing your gloves once a year won't kill you. Most helmets have removable liners for a reason. That stank? It's not just gross, it breaks down your gear. Sweat, grime, and rain eat away at the fabric and padding. You want people to ride with you? Try not smelling like a swamp every time you show up. Clean gear equals happy crew. You drop $30,000 on your dream bike. Full spec, brand new, top of the line. And it's sitting in your garage. Shiny, polished, untouched. Like a museum piece. Look, buying your dream ride is awesome. You earned it. But bikes aren't meant to be admired, they're meant to be ridden. If it hasn't seen rain, bugs, or back roads, is it really yours? The worst part? These riders talk like seasoned pros. But check the odometer barely 800 miles after 2 years. That's not experience. That's ownership on paper only. Want to impress real riders? Hit the road. Put some wear on those tires. A little dirt tells a better story than a perfect paint job ever will. There's always that guy. One hand on the bars, the other holding a phone, coffee, or just dangling in the wind like he's starring in a biker perfume commercial. It's not cool. It's not relaxed. It's reckless. You're not in a movie, you're in traffic. Things happen fast on two wheels, and if you're too busy filming yourself to react, you're one pothole away from eating asphalt. I've seen people try to take selfies mid-ride. Spoiler, face meets pavement. Not epic. Not cinematic. Just dumb. Keep your hands where they belong. If you want content, record responsibly. Otherwise, ride the bike. Don't let Instagram ride you. You ever see someone treat a parking lot like it's a racetrack? Full throttle, weaving between cars, blasting through tight spaces like they're chasing pole position at the mall. It's not impressive. It's dangerous. Parking lots are chaos, cars reversing, kids running, carts rolling. One bad move and it's game over. If you want to race, hit a track. If you're in a parking lot, act like it. Low speed control is a skill too. Master that before pretending you're in Modog. Real riders don't flex in parking lots. They move smooth, stay sharp, and don't almost kill pedestrians to look fast. So what's behind all this nonsense? It's not just bad habits, it's insecurity. It's riders trying to look experienced instead of becoming experienced. Loud pipes, fake patches, cold start revs, they're all shortcuts to attention. But riding isn't about shortcuts. It's about learning, growing, and respecting the road. The real flex? Riding smooth, knowing your machine, keeping your cool when things go sideways. None of that comes from stickers or Instagram reels. These trends catch on because they're easy, but real skill takes time and it's always worth it. When you let go of the need to impress, that's when you actually start to earn respect. All right, now it's your turn. What's the dumbest motorcycle trend you've seen out there? The one that makes you roll your eyes or cringe so hard it hurts? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it all. Let's build a list of things we, as real riders, know need to go. No judgment. Okay, maybe a little. Let's roast some nonsense together. And hey, if you're guilty of one or two, no shame. We've all been there. What matters is riding smarter from here on out. At the end of the day, riding isn't about being loud, flashy, or viral. It's about freedom, focus, flow, the connection between you and the machine and the road beneath your wheels. You don't need trends to prove anything. Ride clean, ride often, ride like it means something. Respect your bike, respect the ride. And above all, respect the people sharing the road with you. Be the kind of rider others trust, not the kind they avoid. That's what makes you stand out. Ride smart, ride real, and I'll see you out there.